Hi everyone, it's Terminator here, and I'm doing a battle video of Shogun Total War 2, and this is the historical battle. And let me just move over here. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm moving all my troops from this side and bringing them over to the center, and then my Yari Ashiguru or whatever, they have spears, so I'm bringing them to the front. I've got 2 units on this side, so I'm going to quickly deploy them out in front into this zone in here. And what that'll do is when the Cavs comes through here, they'll be able to use their special formation to have their spears launch or out in front to bear the brunt of the first cav attack. So now you can see them moving into formation, and I've got the archers behind shooting at them. Archers don't really kill too many, but once they take that first brunt of attack, I only killed 6 of them, but it's doing quite a ridiculous amount of damage to the cavalry. So we'll just let that be, and we'll be moving all our other troops into position. So what we want to do is move our units from this side as well, and basically bring all of the samurai onto the right flank with a couple of cav behind. As you can see, all the cav has been eliminated, and we've only lost 12 men. Okay, so basically now we pull back our spear troops and have our archers form the first line, mainly because we've got some missile troops coming up, so we don't want them to get some free shots on our units, so we have our missile troops out in front and our cav on the one flank. Don't need to worry too much about the other units moving behind. As it's AI controlled, it's all pretty much timed, so there's no real problem with things happening randomly. Okay, so as these are moving in, we've actually grouped our archers into sort of more of a close formation, and then cav from the side into those units. Now with our samurai, what we do is launch one unit into the front of the enemy samurai, and then bring the cav in from behind, pulling that other cav out and sending that other cav unit in. Actually pretty much does considerable amount of damage to that ranged units, and sending them back again, a bit like what we do with lancers in NTW. Okay, so pulling that one cav out, have another one come in from behind. Really, that does eliminate basically all those units, those initial units, pretty quick. Okay, so then we pull back and reform. So for the next part of the assault, what the AI will do is bring up a lot more melee troops. So we want to actually pull back our archers and bring forward our spear troops into this area here, and bring the cav back out to the side. Now this is basically saying that one of our allies aren't going to help us, which isn't a surprise. So we're still reforming. On this side there is a samurai unit, or 2 samurai units on this side, but we mainly want to look at this concentration of melee here. This is the ones we want to deal with as quick as possible. Okay, so here we are. I'm moving back my archers now and getting them out of trouble, and moving up my spear troops to take the brunt of the attack. Also simultaneously, what you need to do is move your cav around to the side, the flank, and get in behind. There are a couple of ranged units behind, so we want to deal with them as quick as possible as well. Okay, so this is actually on very hard as well. I don't think I mentioned that at the beginning. Not much point doing it on any other levels. because pretty much you want to build up. Even if you lose, you want to actually build up and actually beat it on the hard. There's not much point trying to beat it on any other levels, because it's all about trying to beat it on very hard. And once this was the second attempt I did for the historical battle as well. Okay, so I'm not worrying too much about. Yep, I'm just gonna. I did attack that ranged unit. You can put it on guard mode to stop them following the routing troops, but I didn't. I'll just have to. I do grab them pretty soon, as you got another strong force coming in on that flank. So you want to get in good position after you've eliminated these other troops in the centre. Okay, so this is where the guy on the right hand side, who was an ally, becomes treacherous and changes side. But we're not going to try and engage him too soon. We actually want to eliminate this side. But our ally on this side actually does come in to help, which is good. And we just have a few, not a lot left of the melee army, and we've got one more range unit at the back there that we'll have to deal with. We'll send some cav in relatively soon to deal with that. So what have we got? I put 2 lots of the spear troops on this side just to slow down the progress while I reform after completing the centre part of the battle. Still maintain that I've got quite a considerable amount of my archers. My impressions so far of Shogun 2 are that archers aren't that useful. But in this particular historical battle, you know, they do a significant amount of damage to sort of help you on your way, and you can actually protect them quite easily. So yeah, so we send in the cav to eliminate the
our men are running from the battlefield.
that range unit, and our ally did a pretty good job over there. We didn't have to deal with too many, so we want to pull back into this zone in here and reform our troops for basically the final onslaught. We'll let green, whatever's left of green, go in and attack and slow them down a bit while we get prepared. I've done this battle a couple of times since this particular battle, and it pretty much pans out in a similar fashion. Now, I was a bit slow on this, but you need to get your spearmen. I only had one lot of spear troops left, and this cav's going to do a little bit of damage on this side. That's the general's unit. So I have to trying to get my guys over there with their spears, just try and stop this flank from being broken apart, and reform my cav onto the other flank. And now I've reset all my archers behind what melee troops I have left. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, I have done this a few times since then, since this particular battle, and it all pans out pretty similar. Probably not as good as this one. I think this one was still the best result I've had so far. So once it doesn't. One thing worth noting, it doesn't actually tell you when you've actually killed the general. So bring in my cav around in the back, and see my melee troops haven't quite broken yet. So then I'll just individually select my cav and bring them in from behind. And I've pretty much broken in on this side of the flank as well. So, and I've still got lots of archers doing significant amount of damage. Well, if I didn't have as much cav, I would be pulling back these archers on this side. in the middle and bring them back into this zone here, like I'm doing now actually. That seems to work very well. Just slows, you know, you can just use the AI will attack the other, what's remaining first before it actually closes, so you get more firing from your archers. But that's about it, and game over. And as you can see, I've got a huge amount of troops still left, and that was on very hard, so not very hard after all, but it was fun. I just hope that the campaign is good and all of the multi is balanced, which will be fun. But it's a pity they haven't really improved the AI. Sorry about that, guys, but that's just the truth.